State meet to determine who will advance to the Division III State Final Four as Mason Studer and undefeated Colonel Crawford battle standout sophomore Colin White and Ottawa-Glandorf in a tournament rematch from 2020. And it's right back here at Bowling Green for the regional title, all streaming live and free on the OH Report. Next.
A collision course lies ahead. Two teams, two seasons hang in the balance. Communities come together. And for those 32 minutes, nothing else matters. The road to Dayton continues tonight. So if you're the last in town to leave, make sure you shut off the lights.
It's nice having that one-on-one connection with each one of your instructors because the class sizes are so small. You can have conversations and understand things better. They know you by name and not just by a seat in the classroom. North Central is giving me the opportunity to be able to have the same education as it would be going to that 4-year, but I can do it at home and I can stay home and still be a mom and work full-time.
It's Freedom Fest, Ohio, featuring Justin Moore,
You look like I need a drink right now.
Crowder,
God Almighty, I hope you'll find
Rodney Atkins,
makes me wanna take a back road.
Austin French, and more.
Somebody else.
Friday and Saturday, July 1st and 2nd, Morrow County Fairgrounds in Mount Gilead, Ohio. For tickets and more info, visit freedomfestohio.com.
Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Genius.
Introducing Ruffles Flamin' Hot Cheddar and Sour Cream. Own your ridges.
The exclamation point on the night for Maurice Ware.
State number 1 Colonel Crawford square off against AP number 2 Ottawa-Glandorf for the BG Regional Crown as our live and free coverage of this monster clash between the Titans and Eagles starts right now. This is the Burkhart Farm Center pregame show. I'm Brian Skoronsky with Team B&B today. Brian Harder on the call with me. And I mean, this is a monster mega matchup. If you are a fan of high school basketball, it doesn't get any better than what we have today. A clash of the Titans, the two best teams in Division III.
If this does not quench your thirst for high school basketball, somebody needs to check your pulse, because you look at what Colonel Crawford has done over the last several years, the 54-game regular season winning streak. They're undefeated this year. They won their first regional game this season, which I really found hard to believe. But then you look at Ottawa-Glandorf, and this is a team rich in history. All the regional titles, 3 state championships. It does not get any better than this.
Anytime you can get the top 2 teams in the AP poll meeting this deep in the tournament, it's going to be special. We're expecting fireworks here today. And of course, Ottawa-Glandorf, a team, Brian, a perennial power from the Western Buckeye League, seeking their 9th regional championship here today. They're battle tested. They go outside of their conference, which is really good, by the way, and they make sure that they get good looks throughout the year so they can get back here to places like BG.
That is why this program is so successful. They have built a history on playing very good non-conference competition. And Tyson McLaughlin, their head coach, told me even in the summer, they look to schedule scrimmages against some of the top programs. They're not going out just looking to get gym time and get reps. They are looking to improve with everything they do, even in their offseason, and the results speak for themselves.
Yeah, let's take a look at their team spotlight for today. Tyson McLaughlin now in his 11th season. And you see, they did get tested to get to this point. I believe had to come from behind in the second half against Eastwood. And they are led by a dynamic scorer that's just a sophomore, though, Brian, and Colin White.
Colin White is very special, but Tyson McLaughlin made an interesting point. He goes, when you look at this team, they don't scare you getting off the bus, but they do all the things when they step on the hardwood, and the thing they do the most is they love to press.
Tell you more about Colin White and what he's been able to do just his second year in the high school ranks, and look at what he's doing. The Co-Northwest District Player of the Year and some pretty gaudy numbers. Total complete player on the floor.
Yeah, he really does it all at both ends. Offensively, he is their main weapon. Everything really kind of flows through him. He will draw double and triple teams. He is very good passing the basketball, so he knows how to set people up, and he doesn't force things. Has a lot of maturity for a sophomore.
And White learned a lot from his predecessors to get to this point, a program that's got a pedigree of success. Spoke with their head coach just a couple of minutes ago about what it takes to build a culture that gets you back to Bowling Green year after year.
Got Coach McLaughlin with me now, and this is a stage you guys seem to get here just about every season under your watch now, 11 years on the job. Tell me about the culture of the program, and what does it take to become a perennial powerhouse to play in big-time situations like this all the time?
I think it starts with our fan base. Our kids, you know, they're homegrown. They come here. They watch these games since they're, you know, toddlers, and they know what it's like, and they know what they want to do. And you know, the expectations are high, but at the same time, you know, they're looking at an opportunity for some time to be out there on the big stage. So it's just kind of a continual thing. Our guys buy into what we do, and we have a lot of fun doing it.
Getting to the next level, moving on to the state Final Four. What does it take today against the number 1 team in the state?
We got to go out there and we got to do what we do. We got to put pressure on. We got to be able to contain, you know, Valentine and Studer and make them earn everything they get. But at the end of the day, it's going to be those hustle plays. It's going to be the 50-50 balls, the long rebounds, and then whoever's got open shots got to knock them down.
All right, good luck to you, Coach. Thanks.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Appreciate Coach for giving us the time. Really smooth cat. Like what he had to say about getting to this point. And then on the other side too, Brian, a pretty awesome coach. Comes from a pedigree, a background of quality coaches. When we're talking about David Sheldon and his Colonel Crawford program, this is the most successful stretch in program history. You're talking about 50 wins in their last 51 games.
Yeah, they have really set the bar in our area. And to me, they might even be one of the most underrated teams in our area. And I look at what they have been able to accomplish this year, especially in the tournament, and that would really be the cherry on top of this if they could finish this off.
Eagles did just win their first ever regional contest Wednesday night here in a fantastic game, a win over Harvest Prep 55-46. I think a little bit bigger test here tonight, as we will now step aside for the playing of our national anthem, Star Spangled Banner, and then we will be ready for game time. Everyone's laced up. We got a packed house here inside of the Stroh Center, Brian. This is as electric environment as I have felt during the tournament. This is going to be lit, baby. Enough to give you goosebumps every single time. Doesn't get much better than that. And it hasn't gotten any better for Colonel Crawford. Let's take a look at their season up to this point. As mentioned, 50-1 the last two seasons. Crawford taking care of Harvest Prep the other night. And then just to get to that point, they had to have a wild comeback in the district championship, down 17 in the fourth quarter to knock off Western Reserve.
Yeah, one of the most exciting final 90 seconds you'll ever see of a basketball game. And if you did not get a chance to see it, go on OH Report and look at it. It's something that words really just can't describe how special that was. And when you get into winning streaks like this, sometimes you need a little bit of luck. Sometimes you need some things to fall your way. And Dave Shell to be the first to tell you, I don't know if they really feel the pressure of the streak. They just go out every day and do the things that they need to do, and it just kind of takes care of itself. But it's a long, fun ride to be on.
They've got two savvy veterans that have been leading them throughout this tournament journey so far. Let's talk first about Carter Valentine. What a phenomenal performance by him in that regional semifinal game to help get them here. 18 points, Brian, and what I liked most is that he was attacking like a pit bull from the very start of that game. He was held scoreless through 3 quarters of action in the district championship game, and I think he took it to heart that he needed to be the aggressor a couple nights ago.
Well, most players and most teams are fortunate if they have one elite scorer. Colonel Crawford has 2. You know, last year, a lot of the focus was on Valentine, and deservedly so, and he was the district player of the year, and he got all the accolades and everything else. This year, Mason Studer has emerged as kind of a Batman-Robin combination, so to speak, and these two make a very formidable duo and give defensive coaches a lot of fits. He's the district player of the year this year, has really excelled in that role. And, oh, by the way, he's the co-district player of the year. He shares the honor with Colin White on the other side of the gym here tonight. So you're going to see 2 of the better players in Division III.
He was just announced here over the loudspeakers. The keys tonight to victory for the Eagles. Just don't let it get too hot in the kitchen, right, Brian?
It cannot get hot, and this is going to be the key for anybody that plays OG. This team loves to press. They come out and they will pressure you full court. They will make things very difficult for your guards. And the key for Crawford, you're not going to dribble through it. They're going to have a good press break. They're going to have to be able to pass over it. And they're going to have to be able to handle that pressure. And also, you can't ignore the other pieces that OG has. Colin White gets a lot of the attention, and deservedly so, but he's very smart. If he gets the ball and he's double or triple teamed, he knows how to get it to other guys that can hit perimeter jumpers. They have a lot of size. They have complementary pieces, so you can't ignore those guys either.
And quickly, we'll dive into the keys for Glandorf. Definitely you got to keep an eye on number one, as we just outlined. Studer's pretty special.
He's the ultimate gym rat. He's a guy that has never missed a day of school. And he is also the guy that leads this program in all-time wins. 92 career wins.
Woo.
That's the most by any Eagle in their history as a 4-year stud for the Eagles.
Here we go, opening tip-off. We are underway from the Stroh Center. First possession will belong to CC and Mason Studer, who gets picked up right away by Caleb Coleman.
You see they come out right away in man. They will really not play a whole lot of zone. They love to get up and apply a lot of pressure.
They leave Fickner wide open on the perimeter. Thinks better of hoisting up a three-point shot and a reach-in foul. This one's going to go against Theo Mag.
Theo Mag, a 6'7" junior, gives them some size. Now, I'm interested to see where they put him in the press. Most guys, if he's athletic, long arms, are going to put him at the point. I'll be interested to see where they put Mag when they go full court.
They run Baker off of a couple of down screens. Not available, though, from the wing. Eagles got him spread out 5 wide on the perimeter. Fickner lost it. Valentine collects. And now Braxton, nice up fake, drives the lane. Left hand swatted at the 10.
As you see in the first possession, no easy looks for the Eagles.
Eli Schmenk coming through with the block shot at the other end. Now here's White. Kicks it out, corner triple, in and out for Carter Schmoller. Baker again, shot blocked. So back-to-back shots by Braxton Baker. Glandorf got a piece of it. And how about 3 consecutive blocks now, Bri?
Fickner with the offensive rebound. They were unable to do anything with it.
And twice in a row, Mag had it poked away. That's what the Eagles can do defensively. They got those fast fingers in the passing lanes at all times. Two-man game now. We get the switch with Schmenk coming out on top with Studer. Valentine posting up. And you see there's just no driving lanes open right now.
No, they're very disciplined off the ball. Their on-ball defense is very good, fundamentally sound. You see 1 foot in the paint when the ball is on either side of the floor.
Valentine, tough contested shot. Coleman was all over him.
Well, it's funny you say that because that is going to be the MO all night long. They will not give you a whole lot of easy looks, not a lot of missed assignments defensively.
First points of the afternoon belong to Colin White and Glandorf. And this is where they have their most success off of made baskets, and they can set up that crazy pressure.
Crawford this time with a very good job breaking the pressure. As you see, they didn't try to dribble through it.
McKibben airballed it, though. And now silky smooth laying Schmenk over the top of everyone.
One of those complementary pieces. He's a guy that averages about 5-6 points a game.
Intercepted. One-handed catch by Schmenk.
See, this is pressure that Colonel Crawford does not see a lot of. They will get up in your grill, and they want to control the tempo. It's not always just about forcing turnovers. It's about speeding you up, making you make bad passes like you saw in that last possession.
Shot comes up short. Eagles hold them to a one and done this time. The one uncontested look that they had came up as an air ball by McKibben on their last possession. Valentine lost the handle going up. Studer able to corral it here.
Now that might be the easiest look that Crawford has seen so far.
And they needed it. Carter Valentine supplying a trifecta here to get the Eagles on the board. As White with the hesitation finds an open shooter. Corner three, too strong. Second possession, though, created here.
Really impressed with this sophomore. Doesn't force things. Nice, strong jumper there from the elbow. Even though he missed it, it was a good look. Early in the possession, he penetrated. Was able to get off a good pass.
And now back-to-back bombs for the Eagles. They take their first lead of the night. Both teams with that perimeter defense just suffocate you. Your ball movement has to be on your A-plus game to be able to get quality looks as White puts up another. And how about the answer down here?
Oh. Showed he not only can play inside, but he's had a nice stroke from outside. See, again, they're just not used to this kind of pressure, and it forces you into a mindset, and you're making decisions that you're not used to making. As we take a look at White hitting that three from outside, there's a lot of poise in this OG team.
Fast-moving first quarter.
Crawford shooting 28% from the floor, but 50% from behind the three-point line.
Eagles have made their last two from downtown. Titans came through with a trifecta on their last possession. This time they'll go inside. Mag bowling his way into the interior.
Nice strong move by Mag, a 6'7" junior. So you think this team is good now. They're going to be even better next year. White is only a sophomore, Mag's a junior.
Horsley trying to find a place to go with the basketball. Now comes up top for Baker.
Well, they're all over Mason Studer, making him work for everything in the half court. Their off-ball defense is very impressive.
Yeah, the way OG's able to sag and then recover, getting out to what you think is an open shooter, but the gaps are closing almost instantaneously.
A lot of communication, what we call head on a swivel. I mean, they're constantly moving, even if their guy doesn't have the ball, and their hands are active.
Just like they were right there. Theo got a tip, creates a turnover here for the Eagles. Their second so far.
White a little anxious there.
See it on the Kaple & Company replay, just off of his toe as he went baseline out of bounds.
Here they come again with that full court pressure.
And there's David Sheldon, 290 career wins for him and counting, 16th season as the head coach of the Eagles. Done a phenomenal job with this program, the deepest he's ever been in the tournament here today.
Well, the deepest Colonel Crawford has ever been in the tournament. They got that first regional win, got that monkey off their back.
Trouble getting the ball inbounds. Now Valentine gets it to Studer. Imagine he'll just clear it out. Mason beats his defender. Fake to the corner, but the shot affected at the rim. The length of Stechel. That would have been a tough make right there from White.
Yeah, White couldn't get the bounce that time.
Now he matches up with Valentine. Looking to go to work. Carter, excellent pass. Open tray on the way.
Well, if we can look at that replay on the kick out from Valentine, It was good that he saw the shooter on the outside, but the shooter had to reach down for the ball. If he could have caught him right in the pocket, that could have been another made three for Crawford. These are the small things that as you get deeper into the tournament that they have to make sure that they're sharp on.
Just 32 seconds to go. Eagles on opportunity if they so choose to hold for the final shot of the frame. Definitely trying to get the ball out of Mason Studer's hands. But here he is with the rock. 10 seconds to go as he checks the clock. Mason.
Nice.
Wow. Ankle breaker. Hesitation. Shot's good if it goes, but it comes up short from Horsley. We're at the end of one. 9-6 your count between the top two teams in the Buckeye State.
It's nice having that one-on-one connection with each one of your instructors because the class sizes are so small. You can have conversations and understand things better. They know you by name and not just by a seat in the classroom. North Central is giving me the opportunity to be able to have the same education as it would be going to that 4-year, but I can do it at home and I can stay home and still be a mom and work full-time.
Round one in the books of this heavyweight matchup, state number 1 versus state number 2, and for the AP poll champion Eagles, down just 3, Brian, but shooting for them in the first quarter, problematic.
No, 20% from the floor in the first quarter, which is to be expected when you have a team that will speed you up the way that OG does with their full court pressure. What is keeping Colonel Crawford in this game is they're shooting 40% from behind the three-point line. They've hit a couple, and a very low-scoring game. OG's offense still looking to get things going as well.
We see your comments rolling through right now on the Facebook and the YouTube, and then also for you out there that are tuning in and like to play around on Twitter, as Valentine knocks down the Open J, just use the hashtag FanZone and you can be included in today's activities. Love hearing from you, the fans.
Nice look by Carter Valentine at the other end of the floor, and he's so big, and he is a matchup nightmare, and he's got a nice stroke from outside. He can create his shot. Mason Studer at 5'11" really has to work extra hard to create offense.
Baseline drive. Look at the Titans work it around. But the Eagles, the recovery to the outside, phenomenal until there. White blows by his defender.
Well, blew by the contact, too. Took a little shot to the face as he got into the lane, but the focus of this kid, he plays beyond his years as a sophomore. You can see why he was the district co-player of the year. And again, the pressure that the Titans put on, they take you out of any kind of rhythm that you want to get yourself into offensively.
They say one of Valentine's size 12 stepped out of bounds there. So it goes down as turnover number 4 for CC. And Glandorf with an opportunity to extend. 3 ball came up well short, right place, right time, and a big finish for Schmenk.
Oh, blown assignment defensively. Nolan McKibben did not box out, and you got to make sure, especially in a tight game like this, that you're not extending a possession. Nice job, though, getting back by Braxton Baker.
It's a 1-on-4. We'll see if a Studer elects the attack. He does, but White with the theft. Coast to coast rim rocker.
Oh, by the way, He's got a little emotion in him, too, and he can get the crowd into the game.
Colin White turning a little bit of defense into 2 big points. OG Nation up on their feet. The student section going flat out gorillas, and how could you not? How about this? Just the speed burst, the lift, the delivery, all on cue.
Tyson McLaughlin used the word raw to describe this kid. I think he looks pretty smooth as a sophomore. If he thinks this is raw, what is this kid going to be like next year and as a senior?
Yeah, he's already got a lot of polish to his game, a 2-year starter at a program like Ottawa-Glandorf. Probably don't see that a lot for a sophomore, so lots of room for him to grow and improve. And already at 6'4", Bri, the speed there is what kind of took me off guard. I didn't think he was going to be able to break away from the pack. I know he can leap. The dude's been dunking his entire career so far. But gosh darn, man, just shot out of a cannon there. And I think a good timeout taken by Coach Sheldon.
They got to kind of settle things down a little bit before White just really explodes and gets this game out of hand. White, a 4.0 student in the classroom.
Wow.
He's already getting Division I offers from Toledo, Dayton, UC. So by the time this kid is a senior, I think he's going to be able to write his own ticket as to where he plays collegiately.
A little bit of danger zone time right now for Colonel Crawford. We'll see if they can fly their way out of trouble. Down by 7. Valentine getting harassed that time by Landon Jordan, who checked in off the bench. And the great thing about OG, they can go deep. All these kids committed at the defensive end.
Well, when you play the pressure that they play, you have to be able to use your bench because you can't expect your starters to go wall to wall for 4 quarters. He went to his bench just a couple of minutes into the game and brought 2 guys in. And there is just no gap, no seam whatsoever in this defense.
Valentine pull-up jumper off target. White's going to set up the offense here from the left wing, gets a screen. Nice catch from the corner by Coleman.
Showing a lot of patience at the offensive end.
Now the Titans will look to reset as Coach McLaughlin sends in a new play call.
Their coach is a Glandorf guy. He understands the expectations here and the pressure as White misfires from the baseline.
And I think that's the right call. OG Nation don't like it. Schmenk, I think, did get a piece of it, tipping it over Mason Studer's head. We'll have a nice look here on the replay, and maybe I'm wrong.
Well, but there's about 100 officials in the end zone area here wearing black T-shirts that agree with the call.
Yeah, it might have affected that one right there. Here comes Mason, still scoreless. And he'll have a chance to change that narrative heading to the free throw line. I think that's his first shot attempt as well, Bri.
Yeah, he has really been hounded, and I don't know if you've noticed the last few possessions, they've had Carter Valentine bringing the ball up the floor against the pressure. I think they like that matchup a little bit better. Valentine's a very good ball handler.
The Northwest District's Player of the Year on the scoreboard now. Eagles, some much needed points. They have been held in check here in the second. It's the only points outside of the Valentine jumper in the opening few ticks of the frame.
Neither one of those guys has gotten easy looks at the offensive end. Valentine's just been able to create a little bit more. But this is what tournament basketball is all about. 2 of the state's best fighting it out for a regional title.
White's gonna pull the cord on that one. Little breeze coming through, came up well short.
The Eagles now with an opportunity here.
Studer floater out of bounds. Tough angle for that shot. Now back the other way, wide open. Caden Erford drops the hammer.
Here they come again with the pressure. Even getting the ball in bounds was difficult, but they found Valentine.
Carter takes it himself. Offensive foul. He thought that he should have earned an and-one opportunity.
A little frustrated as he walks back to the other end of the floor, but it was a good call. Valentine, of course, will be an Eagle next year, but won't be black and gold. It'll be purple and gold as he'll get a full ride to Ashland University.
Valentine, his game has really grown over the last couple of years. This season, what stood out to me about what he's added to his game, he's a much better rebounder. I think his first couple of years, he's put on a little bit of weight too. He was tall, but not necessarily an aggressive physical player in the paint. I think now he's got that under his tool belt.
Yeah, I remember doing prep work for a game last year and found the offensive numbers, but I was looking for the rebounding numbers, and they really weren't there. But yes, you're right. He has really made a concerted effort to attack the glass this year, and it's really helped this team as a whole.
Carter pulls down 7 boards per game on the season,
which is near the top of the conference.
That's just a beautiful play there by Burkhart, who knocked down the triple on the previous possession, so it's a 5-0 run for him. Eagles looking for the match. Other way, McKibben. Well short. We've seen a lot of air balls. Baker, though, dots the eye from downtown.
Well, that was kept alive with an offensive rebound that was kicked out for the open three. And again, if they want to get back into this, those are the little things that they have to do to extend possessions.
Coach McLaughlin says spread them out, try to attack some gaps. OG shooting 50% from the floor so far as White silky to the 10.
Nice job by Studer getting through the pressure. And that might be the easiest look he's had all night.
And a second chance opportunity created here. Valentine in rhythm, back iron.
I will say this Crawford team is too good. You know they have a run in them. They will get themselves back into this game.
They proved to themselves in the district championship game, no lead is insurmountable, no matter how late in the contest. But right now, against a perennial power like OG, it's going to be tough for them if they head into the break already down 9, and the Titans looking to add.
Now, this is something we have not seen a lot.
Oh, big shot.
Dave Sheldon taking a timeout with a minute to go here. He does not want this to get out of hand before halftime. And what I was getting ready to say was, we don't see, and Greg Collins and I have made this comment for the last couple of games, a lot of teams don't go out and work for that last shot. And just as I was getting ready to say that, he pulled a perimeter jumper.
Well, he's officially past the point of heating up. That gentleman, Caden Burkhart, officially on fire as we have reached the Baker's Pizza timeout. His last 3 shots have all tickled the twine. 2 from downtown, 1 where he was able to attack and get into the lane. So Ottawa-Glandorf, just too many weapons right now, Brian. That's a bench guy coming in and providing some instant microwave offense.
Well, this is what we talked about in the pregame, is the complementary pieces that are around Colin White. It is just not about him. They have other players on this team. You look at the numbers and the points per game from everybody else, they don't scare you. But they have guys that can step in and hit those threes. They have guys that can step in and get a big rebound or make a deflection. They have those complementary pieces that can get them to Dayton.
That's what Colonel Crawford found out the last time these two teams met in the regional semifinals a couple of years ago. I just think the depth of the Titans, how they smother you defensively, and they don't have a big drop-off when they bring in those dudes off the bench. It was a big problem for them 2 years ago. So far, that same narrative playing out here on this big stage. So the Eagles out of the TO. Usually in these situations, you'll come out and you'll get a quick look at the rim. you draw up something real nice that you're comfortable with, but not against this team.
Tried to force the ball over to Carter Valentine in the corner. Fortunately, it goes out of bounds, and it will stay with Crawford. And again, it'll be interesting to see if they work this down and try to get the last shot before half and just make it a 10-point game.
Studer with the kick out in rhythm. McKibben, boy, he has really not been able to find the mark tonight.
Well, and that's a shot that he likes, and they will keep giving him that look. Greg Collins likes to make the statement, Mason Studer gave up a good shot for a great shot, and that was a good look by McKibben.
Valentine harassing defense, down to 5 seconds. White takes a peek at the rim, now gives it off. Why not to this guy? Unbelievable finish to the second quarter for Caden Erford. 9 points for the kid in this frame.
That is execution. Doesn't get any better than that.
One more look here on our Kaple and Company replay. It's well contested. Baker 6'4" gets out, hands in the face, and it just doesn't matter, my friends. Wow, what a statement by Ottawa-Glandorf, the number 2 team in the state. Exclamation point on an excellent 2 quarters of action as they've got the Eagles, the AP poll champions, more than doubled up. Stick around for the Burkhart halftime. We'll give you guys some stats, analysis, and read some of your comments flying in on the Facebook, YouTube, and the Twitter. So keep it here. It's live and free Tournament Hoots exclusively on the OH Report. Hi, I'm OH Report founder Brian Skoronsky, and you've just enjoyed first half action live and free exclusively right here on the OH Report. But stick around, still plenty more to come right here as our boys high school basketball returns after this.
It's nice having that one-on-one connection with each one of your instructors because the class sizes are so small. You can have conversations and understand things better. They know you by name and not just by a seat in the classroom. North Central is giving me the opportunity to be able to have the same education as it would be going to that 4-year, but I can do it at home and I can stay home and still be a mom and work full-time.
It's Freedom Fest, Ohio, featuring Justin Moore,
You look like I need a drink right now.
Crowder,
God Almighty, I hope you'll find
Rodney Atkins,
makes me wanna take a back road.
Austin French, and more. Friday and Saturday, July 1st and 2nd, Morrow County Fairgrounds in Mount Gilead, Ohio. For tickets and more info, visit freedomfestohio.com.
Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Genius.
Introducing Ruffles, Flamin' Hot Cheddar and Sour Cream. Own your ridges.
The exclamation point on the night for Maurice Ware.
It's halftime here inside of the fabulous Stroh Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University. The winner advancing to the state Final Four in Division III, and so far so good if you're a fan of the Titans. Not so much if you're cheering on the AP Poll champion Eagles. There's their student section. They haven't had a ton to cheer about here today, Brian. They've got more turnovers than made field goals through 2 quarters of action.
But if you're Dave Sheldon, against this kind of pressure, to only have 7 turnovers in the first half, he has got to be pleased with that. What they have to do at the offensive end is they have to be able to create some opportunities, and they have got to get Mason Studer involved. I wouldn't be surprised to see them open the third quarter with some kind of a set to get him going, get his confidence going, so they have some other scoring threat in the second half other than Carter Valentine, who leads them, or actually he has 5, Braxton Baker has 6. But they need Mason Studer offensively if they're going to come back and win this game.
Yeah, you talked about the 5 and 6 points from those 2 players. You combine the 2 made free throws by Studer, and that's it. Yep. That's all the offense so far for Colonel Crawford. Much different storyline for the Titans, who are getting production from a lot of different places, but the one that I think probably took the Eagles off guard, Caden Eford, 4 for 4 from the floor, including 3 for 3 from downtown, Brian. 11 points for him. And not that you overlook a guy like that, but he came off the bench, instant offense, lit them up.
He's got 11. Colin White has 11. And Colin White has really been doing it from all over the floor. But the stat that really stands out to me, 14 of their 28 points have come in the paint. So Colonel Crawford has to do a better job of forcing them outside and not allowing them to penetrate. I wouldn't be surprised maybe to see them come out a little 2-3 zone, try to mix things up a little bit and protect the middle of the floor.
And for the Eagles, they didn't pressure at all in the full court game. I think that narrative's going to have to change in the second half, given the deficit, the margin right now.
Well, you're going to have to do some creative things to try to get back in this, but you have to remember OG practices against pressure every day.
True.
So that's a team that you're not going to catch them off guard by pressing.
They're out of the locker rooms, now on the floor. Let's take a look at the halftime stats presented by Burkhart Farm Center. Here's the tale of the tape so far. 12 made field goals at this point for Ottawa-Glandorf, and you talked about all the points in the paint that they haven't even attempted a free throw. They haven't needed to at this point in the contest because they've been so effective being patient, taking their time, dissecting the D, and getting clean looks off the dribble drive.
It's like watching a precision, a really finely tuned surgeon just pick apart a defense. And Ottawa-Glandorf does so many things well, but they move the ball extremely well. And Colin White, his coach can call him raw.
Yeah.
That is a nice-looking sophomore, and he's a kid that, as he drives to the basket, you just see the confidence and the strength that he has. And, you know, when you look at him, he really doesn't strike any fear into you, but he plays so smooth and so wise beyond his years.
That's why impartial. They have this nice lead right now at the break, 28-13. And for those of you not in attendance tonight that are tuning in live and free on the OH Report, I see there's a whole bunch of comments coming in, so let's read some of these right now over the air. Lou Ann says, Nolan with some love. Go, that's a great nephew. Tamara Burkhart says, go Eagles, go. Michelle cheering on the Titans. She's on the opposite side. Mindy on the bandwagon for the Eagles. She says, get it back. Lou Ann Rosington says, let's go, Eagles. We believe in you guys. Melissa believes the Eagles can come back. This game isn't over. And then Greg Higgins, OG has been at this stage and beyond so often. They know how to handle a regional final. I think he's right.
Well, and that's the second thing. We've talked a lot about the regular season winning streak, and this is taking nothing away from the opponents that Colonel Crawford plays in the regular season, but they don't play in Ottawa-Glandorf. And this is a team that you give this team a 15-point lead, they're not going to go out and make mistakes. So you have to go out and you have to force things to happen, and you have to go out and make things happen. I think Crawford is good enough to do that. The key to me offensively, if Mason Studer doesn't get going here in the third quarter, it's going to be a long second half for the Eagles.
Studer, the Northwest District Player of the Year, has not even made a field goal yet tonight. And look at the student section flying around, waving their terrible towels here. The winner of tonight's game going to move on to Dayton in the state Final Four, a team that just competed there yesterday. The Buckeye Central girls on their way home on the bus today. Shout out to Abram Kaple and his team, who I'm told are watching on their bus ride back to New Washington on an incredible season, right on the doorstep of getting to the state finals, where both of these teams would love to get to.
Winner of this game will play either Garaway or Afrocentric in the state semifinals.
And it's Eagles basketball to start the third. See if they can dig themselves out of the hole here on our first Federal Community Bank scoreboard.
Studer right in front of us right now, being guarded by Caleb Coleman, and he cannot find any gap whatsoever. As you see, Coleman with active hands comes up with the ball, almost on cue.
So at least a Glandorf pushing the other way. Clean look inside. Mike and drill. Mag with a bucket.
Nice ball movement in transition. This league gets up to 20, and they're going to smell blood.
Studer had his pass tipped, almost picked off. Instead, McKibben to the hole, finally gets on the board. Studer read that one all the way. Looking to attack White, got him in the air. He's heading to the free throw line, and how about that, a collision of the co-players of the year in the district.
Well, it's going to send Studer to the line, and that's where he has his only points here so far in the night. Tried to get something going in transition. The Eagles kind of stepping it up a little bit at the defensive end. High praise for Studer. His coach compared him to Aaron Kraft.
He had a nice career.
Said he's in the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he just works his tail off.
He's 4 for 4 from the free throw line so far. All of his points coming from the charity stripe.
If they can get this under 10 within the next couple of minutes,
off the drive, kick out, deflected again. And the foul on Fickner will put Eli Schmenk on the line. First free throws so far of the game for the Titans on the way.
It's good help as he comes over to deny the easy look and not give up the layup.
Just came down on the shooter that time and taught to go straight up so you don't get the whistle.
One thing we don't see a lot of in high school basketball anymore is good free throw shooters. Ottawa-Glandorf is full of them. He's a 79% free throw shooter. White, 71. They have about 5 or 6 guys over 70%. As you get deeper into the tournament, the competition gets better.
Fickner almost picked up his second foul in about 30 seconds. Valentine will draw one here. 15-point margin. OG out in front with the rock. Eagles making some switches here. Fickner heading over to the bench, as will McKibben. They'll get Maddie on the floor, along with Derek Horsley.
Maddie, a very good rebounder, so he can help protect things inside.
From the corner, triple try, no bueno. And Baker has the ball tipped into his hands. Studer draws the double. Someone's got to be open. He finds Horsley. Big three.
Well,
kaboom.
You called it. He found the open guy. And Horsley was able to drain the three to make it a 12-point game.
Colin White in rhythm, missed it. Offensive rebound by Kuhlman.
Valentine had the rebound on his fingertips. He's arguing with the official trying to get the foul, but as we well know, those arguments usually fall on deaf ears.
White gets the switch, spins inside. A lot of attention being directed at Colin, of course, and a big block shot. I think that was Maddie.
Maddie, the 6'5 junior, comes up with a nice defensive play inside, and then a foul at the other end.
Both he and Valentine combined to help make that swat.
Dave Sheldon in his 16th season finally got the Eagles over the regional hump, and they're letting them play. I will say that. They are letting them play.
Well, I didn't like that non-call. That happened right in front of us. There were a couple of bodies all over Valentine, who gave up his down on the floor. Ball out of bounds with the Titans.
That's what I like to see. Your two best players both on the floor going for the loose ball. That sets the tone for everybody else in your program when your two best guys, and that's what Dave Sheldon loves to see. I asked him what the key to their success over the years has been. He goes, well, one, he goes, I have good players. And he goes, two, he has the support of the parents in the community. They let him coach.
Coach McLaughlin basically echoed the exact same thing. So no matter where you are, culture is king, and no matter where this guy's been, he's been able to knock him down. Eli Schmenk, 3 more. He's got 9 points, 3 Titans. 9 points or better right now. Valentine floater, and he's not going to get the calls here this afternoon. Definitely sense a little bit of frustration on his face there as he tried to back on D.
I've really been impressed with how Crawford has handled their full court pressure. It's the half court defense. There you see an offensive foul as Studer steps in. It's been the half court defense of Ottawa-Glandorf that has really given Crawford fits.
Third foul here on the Titans in the third quarter. And you're right, the Eagles have done an excellent job of being able to get into their half-court sets off the full-court press being delivered by Ottawa.
Nice look inside, nice extra pass.
I think White affected that one from Baker. Now Glandorf gonna slow things down. 2-man game. Horsley comes out to defend White. Clean look from the corner. Too much. Valentine fighting for the ball. He comes away.
White getting a little bit of extra attention. That time found the open guy. He just didn't knock the shot down. Nice shot fake, or ball fake. And the shortest guy in the starting lineup gets the offensive rebound. That's how hard this kid works, and that's how bad he wants this.
Mason Studer, such a warrior as it relates to the game of basketball. You're right, Jim Ratt always has the consistent energy, effort rolling at maximum capacity when he's on the floor.
And the ultimate winner at Colonel Crawford, 92 wins this guy's been a part of.
That's outrageous.
That's making an impact as a freshman. That's not just playing. As Valentine unable to get things going here in the third.
Yeah, he's 0 from the floor after having 5 points in the first half. Playing some excellent defense though right there. Sets up Baker. Transition triple. Big one.
What I thought was nice is that Valentine didn't try to force it to the rack. He saw Baker. Baker has been able to hit those shots from outside, and he felt this is what we need. We need the 3 more than we need the 2.
Great look at it here on the Coldwell Banker Realty replay as we're in a Baker's Pizza timeout taken by OG, who felt the counterpunch land securely on the chin here. Thought maybe they were going to break things open. Instead, Colonel Crawford
hanging around,
easing into the ball game, I think, a little bit here in the second half. Back-to-back buckets for them.
Down by 12, 2:34 to go. If they could start the fourth quarter within 10, they've got a shot.
Well, we saw that last week. Those of you that watched the unbelievable game unfold in the Sheldon Bowl, the Western Reserve versus Colonel Crawford game, I think maybe the best basketball game that I've personally been a part of with Team OH Report. Phenomenal.
I inadvertently sent an email to Chris Sheldon asking for his stats and his roster for this game.
Ooh. What was the response?
I told him I was covering their regional final, and he says, no, you're not.
I'm sure Chris is in the building here today. Here comes Valentine, shaking, baking, not making though. Oh, that's a horrible call.
That happened right in front of us. He stepped in. Dave Sheldon doesn't like it either.
How could you? As aggressive as they are allowing them to be in the paint,
yeah,
the official blew that one. I'm cool with them letting them play physical, then just don't make that call.
Right.
Come on.
Sometimes the best call is no call.
So 3 fouls now against CC, 4 for the Titans, as we're under 2 minutes to go here before money time. Eagles have stepped their game up defensively here over the last few minutes.
Well, White is getting a lot of attention now, and they're trying to force somebody else, and they're really active at the defensive end. But watch every time Colin White touches the basketball. He's drawing a double. He's being picked up right now by Jacob Maddie.
Someone who can match his length.
They are trying really hard to keep him out of the lane. It was a nice job of help as Horsley came over and they forced the travel. As we said in the first half, they had half of their points in the paint in an adjustment that Sheldon made. We're going to help, and we're going to force them to kick the ball out. And White, for him, has been really quiet here in the third quarter. But the defense is still stifling. Now they better get it across.
Studer will do that. Get the offense started here from the right wing as he now dribbles to center court. 4-high look, Mason with the crossover. Pops the cork on a big tray.
And that could be it. That could be the shot that gives him the confidence they need, and it pulls them under 10. Now can they get a stop here at the defensive end of the floor?
They're going to at least get the 5-second count started here. Eagles not going to just let them dribble the time out here in this third quarter. You see Valentine telling Baker, get up. Let's play some defense, man. We're on a roll.
They will milk this down and take the last shot of the quarter.
It'll start with White. Down to 10 seconds. Maddie shading him, allowing him to go left. Now Colin comes back right side off the crossover. Kick to the corner, wide open three. Won't fall, and we head to the fourth. The Eagles back within striking distance, trailing by 9.
It's nice having that one-on-one connection with each one of your instructors because the class sizes are so small. You can have conversations and understand things better. They know you by name and not just by a seat in the classroom. North Central is giving me the opportunity to be able to have the same education as it would be going to that 4-year, but I can do it at home and I can stay home and still be a mom and work full-time.
Colonel Crawford with 13 points in the third quarter, 7 of them courtesy of Mason Studer. Clawed their way back in this game. They're down 9 here to open up the fourth. And a late whistle could extend the lead here as we're going to get Eli Schmenk heading to the line.
Well, 2 things happened in the third quarter that I think got Crawford back into it. One, Studer hit that 3, and I think that gave him a little bit of confidence. And secondly, at the defensive end, they are giving help on Colin White and forcing him to get rid of the ball.
Two for 2 for the smooth lefty. Schmenk now in double-figure scoring. Studer able to beat his man. Now Valentine sends a 3 ball and it lands in its home.
There they go, back in within 9 again, thanks to the long ball.
Eagles flying around, almost looked like they were going to get a turnover. Now they will. Maddie with the long limbs. Studer in attack mode to the 10. 5-point game.
I'll tell you what, OG knows it too. They want to stop the bleeding here as it's now a 6-point game. And you asked me during the break if Crawford could get back into this, and I said yes. That was a nice shot here, and you could tell by the reaction from the Glandorf bench that they sense it too.
Mason Studer starting to find his edge offensively, and this is a guy typically, Brian, that for the first couple of quarters, he's a little bit more of a playmaker, tries to find his teammates, and then in the second half, you'll see that he'll start breaking out of his shell and looking for his shot a bit more often because you know he don't get tired. The engine is at full RPMs the whole time, and it doesn't matter for this kid. He'll go the full 32 minutes, and he's just now starting to find his stride.
Yeah, he has played too many minutes, and he has put in too much time and effort. Fatigue is not going to be a problem for this kid in the fourth quarter. In fact, I'm not sure that he sat at all in the first half, and he will not sit until this game is over. And the Crawford faithful trying to get their Eagles back into this one, down by 6 and plenty of time. Now they come back with some full court pressure.
Almost a tip there by Horsley.
And we are sitting adjacent to the student section for Crawford and in front of the Crawford fans. It will get loud if they get this next shot. A foul inside on Valentine.
And it's going to put Colin White on the free throw stripe. First time that he's headed to the charity stripe so far this evening.
71% shooter from the line.
Caden Erford back into the game here for the Titans. Get exploded for 11 off the bench in the first half.
Good look at Tyson McLaughlin in his 7th season as the head coach of the Titans. Crawford shooting 54% from behind the three-point line.
That's what's keeping them in this game, down by 8. But they are going to have to consistently score throughout the course of these 6.5 minutes. Studer, clean look. Can't find the range. Big rebound by White. He sends it forward. And a travel. No question.
Tried to gather himself as he was going to the basket. He's better at shooting threes. But it keeps the door open for the Eagles.
Valentine at Schmeggs, no look pass. Maddie backside, missed it. Now out to Baker. Wow, friendly roll.
You know you're living right when you get those kind of bounces and rolls.
Oh, out of bounds off OG, baby. Wow. Eagle Nation roaring right now. It's hard to hear myself.
A 5-point game. If they hit a 3, this place will go crazy. They will blow the top off of the Strohs Center.
And that was shooter's touch to the maximum there for Baker.
There might have been a couple Hail Marys attached to it as well.
Sure. Studer drives baseline, double team. They work it.
Well, and they know who the hot hands are. And that's a pretty strong move to the basket.
Valentine able to slip his way through. We got a one-possession ball game, all sorts of time. This team has to just have so much belief in themselves after what they accomplished in the district championship that I feel like it's just had to have motivated them here at the start of this fourth. This is like deja vu. Though White with a nice counter strike there.
It just feels like there's no moment too big for Colonel Crawford.
Studer, a wide open Baker can't hit, but Mason with the big board inside. And he gets fouled.
You can't say enough about the effort of Mason Studer. Keeping the possession alive, the kick out in the first place, finding an open shooter. And the ball stays at this end of the floor.
Mason gets White switching out on him. The Co-Northwest District Players of the Year going head-to-head here down the stretch. So we approach the midway point of the fourth. Mason, shovel pass. Baker up top. Clean look, Horsley. No good.
Good look, though. Just couldn't get it to go down a little bit long.
White sets up off of the double screen. Now he'll attack left side, lost his footing. Officials say fouls on the floor. The bump from Valentine. It'll be team foul number 6, and no more to give here for the Eagles, so every defensive foul from here on out will land the Titans on the line.
Straight up 4 minutes to go.
A trip to state on the line. Titans looking to get back for the second year in a row. Probably would be 3 in a row if not for the 2020 season being disrupted by COVID. Eagles have never been this deep in the tournament. What a story it'd be if they can knock off OG, exercise those demons from 2 years back when they met. But White totally has a different strategy and idea here in this one. He's been stupendous.
That's been one of the rare defensive miscues we've seen here in the second half as they give White an easy look at the basket.
Colin White so far tonight, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals.
Well, this is an important possession here. It's an important possession defensively for Ottawa-Glandorf. And offensively, Colonel Crawford needs a basket here. They don't need a 3, but they need to keep this momentum going here as we approach the 3-minute mark with a trip to Dayton on the line.
We saw Crawford last Saturday, a week ago, down 9 in the closing 90 seconds, go on an 11-0 run for the win. Can they find another piece of that magic? Studer, jump stop, collects himself, shot turned away.
Time he just tried to go into the trees, and the Titans respond defensively. And can the Crawford defense here get a stop with 3 minutes to go? And as we've seen the entire game, Ottawa-Glandorf's going to be very patient, but then a turnover.
It's McKibben who creates the takeaway. Valentine, pull-up triple. All of a sudden, the Eagles cold from the floor, but they're going to keep possession. Last touch there by Schmenk.
But who's right in the middle of it? Mason Studer. He just has a knack for being where the ball is.
He'll inbound, toss it into Valentine. Back down dribble, fouled on the floor by Mag. And that also was the final foul to give for the Titans. So both teams sitting at 6, and free throws could decide this game down the stretch.
Well, and both teams perfect from the line here so far tonight.
Wow.
Got to be able to deliver in crunch time, and this is crunch time.
Unbelievable play by Coleman to rip that straight out of the hands.
But a smart foul by Mason Studer in transition to prevent the layup, and then you could probably feel the momentum just.
Yeah, that was a big possession there for Colonel Crawford. They needed some points. Now they're going to have to hope and wait that Coleman can't come through. And he won't. Studer checks the clock, 2:22 remaining.
Coleman gives the Eagles life. And there's a foul on the shot that didn't get called.
They have allowed that to go all night. Studer ripped. And then they call that one. I thought that was clean defense, so
maybe a makeup.
It works out. Yeah, you see the frustration certainly on the face of Caleb. He thought that he had a clean strip there. I agree with him. So now Mason Studer. A couple of monster free throws here. And as you'd expect, the blue Gatorade running through his veins. This kid as cool as they come. Cool Hand Stu, as I'm going to start calling him.
Makes them both.
So 2-possession game, and I think that Crawford, they like getting in this full court pressure. They're waiting until the fourth quarter to unravel it and show it. But I feel like they feel energized right now.
Glandorf does a nice job breaking in, and a foul and an opportunity for a three-point play at the other end. That's not what you want as we're under 2 minutes to go.
This Colin White, though, the way that he observes the floor, look at the patience, the execution, the strength. I mean, he's the total package. That's why he's a big-time D1 recruit and just a baby as a sophomore.
And he just calmly, as an afterthought, hits the free throw.
Puts him at 20 points. Valentine straight down Main Street. Perfect answer right there. Very little time coming off the clock.
Still a 2-possession game.
And the Eagles got to take some chances. They get the tip. Here comes Studer. 11th turnover for the Titans. Mason fouled on his way to the rack. He can pull him within 4 here, Bri.
Well, and he had a strong look at the basket, and if that would have dropped and he could have gotten the three-point play, this place would have exploded. But as it is, he'll get 2 shots. And he can make this a 4-point game. Still, that 2 possessions.
I'm watching gray hairs form in real time on Coach McLaughlin's head. If David Sheldon had any hairs, the same thing would probably be taking place over on the other bench.
McLaughlin, an OG grad back in 2000, so he understands the pressure and the expectations at this school.
Mason still perfect at the charity stripe in this game, as are the Eagles as a unit.
And at some point, they will have to start fouling to stop the clock, but it can't be Valentine.
Mason now picks up wide at the top. As you referenced, he's got 4 fouls. Studer trying to get a foul, and they just won't blow the whistle.
Well, they finally do with 56 seconds to go as Studer was able to get the reach. Now it's all down to extending the game, and the Titans will have to win it from the line if they want to go to Dayton.
Gotta make the first to get the second if you're Colin White. No problem. No thinking, no hesitation, just buckets. Sinks them both. And David Sheldon wants a Baker's Pizza timeout. His team's in a position here, down 6. They still got a shot, and they'll just have to hope and bank on Glandorf. They got to put somebody else on the line that's not with the last name White, I think.
They do. They have to put somebody else on the line. And now with 56 seconds to go, Colonel Crawford still has 2 timeouts remaining. They don't need a 3 right now, but they need a quick bucket, and they need to use one of those timeouts to get the clock stopped. Now it becomes about time management. And Dave Sheldon's been in this situation before. He knows how to manage this part of the game. Now it comes down to execution. You've got to get this first bucket. You've got to get the timeout called, and then you just got to hope that Glandorf misses from the line.
That's what it all boils down here to, folks, as you see Lori Motter getting everybody up on their feet. She is the ultimate Eagle fan. Student section certainly is up on theirs. I don't think they've utilized any of the bleachers here tonight. They have been standing from start to finish.
This is what high school basketball is all about. You can feel the electricity in the air. You can feel the kids and even the adults getting into it, and you can just feel the energy.
Beautiful environment for high school basketball here. I didn't hear the actual attendance total, but it looks like more than 5,000.
Packed house here at the Strohs Center.
And they'll start with Valentine attacking. Definitely fouled. I was going to say, if we're not getting a whistle on these, like, turn in your zebra stripes, guys. Look at all the contact here. And finally, Carter Valentine, he's had that exact same play probably 4 or 5 times tonight. This is the first time he's been bailed out with a whistle.
Now he needs to make the second. They're going to come up and press again. And I would think they're going to try to get the turnover. And if they can't get the turnover, they'll foul as soon as the ball gets across half court. Well, Valentine does his job. They're going to get him out because he can't foul. Smart move by Dave Sheldon, but
and you see they're going to let anybody but Colin Light start with the basketball. Here's Carson Fuca. Double team.
Now they'll get Valentine back in for the offense as and if you're a Crawford fan, you want this to be the longest 39 seconds of your life. Dave Sheldon, one of the class acts in North Central Ohio. If I was going to start a basketball program and I had my choice of coaches, he would be on my very, very short list.
I don't think anybody that understands high school basketball would disagree with you.
You know, he talks about having good players, but you have to develop good players, and he has done a very good job of that.
Carson with a big make.
Can you imagine Thanksgivings at the Sheldon house with him and his brother and his dad?
And they got another brother who's a coach in North Carolina who is also a top seed in their district. So the coaching genetics in that family, next to perfect.
And they're all winners. They have all won wherever they've been.
So has Mason Studer, the winningest player in the history of Colonel Crawford basketball. Will this be his final 30 seconds in an Eagle uniform?
Well, and he loses the handle, and that may be it.
Titans evade the pressure as we're down under 20 ticks. Mason's got a foul again. That's going to be his fourth. And 2 shots on the way here for Kuhlman.
That was a huge possession for Crawford. They were unable to even get a shot off. And there you have to give credit to the Titans in the defense that they play with for 4 quarters, and they're closing this game out the way they should.
Done a phenomenal job at the free throw line. I mean, Colonel Crawford 100%. How about Glandorf 93%? They've got 1 miss so far in the game. So this is what championship level teams do. They close you out at the stripe. Though the announcer curse strikes there, but it could be too little a time here for the Eagles to do anything about it. Valentine, rhythm triple, front iron.
Well, that's going to be it. They're going to state.
Ottawa-Glandorf punches their ticket to Dayton yet again. Second straight season that they are the regional champions here at Bowling Green State. The Titans will cut down the nets, receive the big trophy. And for Colonel Crawford, what a season for them. 26 consecutive wins to get to this point. But their season, the chapter, the final one written here.
And that's the hard part of high school basketball is unless you win it all, your season is going to end. Unfortunately, you want to try to make as deep a run as you can, and our hats off to Dave Sheldon, his coaching staff, the players for an outstanding season, 26-1. I mean, you can't argue with the success at Colonel Crawford. They finally got over that regional hump of winning that first regional game, and I do not think that Dave Sheldon and the Eagles are done.
They've been doing the trophy presentations really quickly here at Bowling Green. We will keep the action with you here as the celebration is on for OG. You see the student section getting involved, being a part of it. Just an awesome sight here for them, and just a magical thing. Programs like this, they're not developed overnight, Brian. This is years and years and years for Ottawa-Glandorf getting to this point, and you know they've got the tradition moving on yet again, and for Colonel Crawford wrapping up their best season in program history. The seniors out to collect their trophy is pretty cool.
The irony is this is only the second time these schools have ever played each other. Titans won the first meeting just a couple of years ago, right here on this floor, 66-34. And I think the Eagles, they made a statement tonight. We're a lot better than we were a couple of years ago. This program is a lot better. And you know, with the tradition of the Colonel Crawford program, they're not done. I mean, the Carter Valentines and the Mason Studers are going to move on, but they're going to have other players that are going to come up and fill those roles. And there have been so much talent that's gone through Colonel Crawford over the years. It'll be exciting to see that next step in their development.
Well, the next step for Glandorf, Dayton moving on to the Final Four to face the winner of Garaway versus Afrocentric. That game Friday morning down at the University of Dayton. We'll have coverage throughout the weekends here on the OH Report, so you can keep it locked in with us. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back with our Burkhart Farm Center postgame. We'll hear from the head coaches and top players from both sides and also talk to our MVP of the game. It's going to be Colin White. Keep it here. That's on the other side.
It's nice having that one-on-one connection with each one of your instructors because the class sizes are so small. You can have conversations and understand things better. They know you by name and not just by a seat in the classroom. North Central is giving me the opportunity to be able to have the same education as it would be going to that 4-year, but I can do it at home and I can stay home and still be a mom and work full-time.
It's Freedom Fest, Ohio, featuring Justin Moore,
You look like I need a drink right now.
Crowder,
God Almighty, I hope you'll find
Rodney Atkins,
makes me wanna take a back road.
Austin French, and more. Friday and Saturday, July 1st and 2nd, Morrow County Fairgrounds in Mount Gilead, Ohio. For tickets and more info, visit freedomfestohio.com.
Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Genius.
Introducing Ruffles Flamin' Hot Cheddar and Sour Cream. Own your ridges.
The exclamation point on the night for Maurice Ware.
Welcome to the Burkhart Farm Center postgame show, where it is farmers serving farmers. Awesome game here this afternoon to decide a Division III regional champion here at Bowling Green State University. Ottawa-Glandorf, a 51-44 victor over Colonel Crawford. I'm Brian Skronsky. Brian Harder is with me here for the postgame, and you got to give a lot of credit to the Eagles battling back. It looked like you could have left them dead a couple of times on the side of the road. OG putting together some big runs where they delivered some punches that didn't knock the Eagles out, but it knocked them down. And they showed a lot of courage getting back into this game, I think.
They sure did. They made some defensive adjustments at halftime, and they put some extra body and some extra pressures on Colin White in the second half, and it allowed them to get back into the ball game. Mason Studer held to only 2 points in the first half. He finishes with 13. So they were able to make a run in the fourth quarter, and they were able to get it down to a couple of possessions, but they just could not get over that hump, and they had a couple costly turnovers at the end. And you got to give credit to the Titans. They went down, they hit their free throws when they had to. That's what state caliber programs do, and they've earned the right to go to Dayton.
Talk about the senior class. Mason Studer in his final game, 13 points, a perfect 8 for 8 at the free throw line. 14 points for Carter Valentine. That was the tops on the team, 5 of 15. And I think that he unfortunately was on just the bad end of a few calls that definitely should have went his way, but it just wasn't the way that they were calling the game here tonight, Brian. And then Carson Fickner didn't try really to be an offensive force here tonight, just took one field goal, held scoreless, but played some nice defense for them. His plus minus was pretty good as well. But as we put a bow on the Eagles season, you know, I think there's a lot to really be excited about. They've got some upcoming guys, the junior class loaded. They've got some younger kids too that are going to develop and will be the next guys to keep an eye on for the Eagles and all that they've accomplished. I'm sure they're going to look back with some amazing memories, and even though this game didn't go their way, still performed pretty well on a big stage.
Yeah, if you had told me last year that Mason Studer was going to be the district player of the year as a senior, I would have maybe scratched my head. And not because I doubted him, but I looked at the role that he was playing, and they had Carter Valentine coming back, but you got to give him credit. He got into the gym in the offseason. He put in all the extra work. So you know he has set the tone and has set the example for somebody else in that program, because those other players watch what the Mason Studers and the Carter Valentines, what they do, because those guys watch the guys before them, the guys that set the example, and this program is going to be in fine shape.
See David Sheldon along with Carter Valentine, Mason Studer all heading to the podium right now. We'll get to hear from them here in just a couple of minutes.
If you would have told me coming into this game that Colonel Crawford was only going to have 10 turnovers, and actually the Titans had 11, I would tell you that Crawford probably wins that game easy. They did a good job handling the full court pressure. It was the half court defense that really had them struggle, especially in the first half.
I don't think I've ever seen cheerleaders get a piece of the net here, Bryce. So OG, I mean, they've done this so many times. They're like, you know what, let's share the wealth. Everybody can get involved here as the ladies all get in their chunk of history.
And my hat's off to Tyson McLaughlin and his program in his 11th season. He played here. He won a state title in his second season as a head coach, and he understood where the bar was when he took over this program, and they've really picked up and done amazing things with him at the helm. And you would think, well, you win a state title in your second year, it's all downhill from there, but they have been a contender pretty much every season, and they will continue that as they head to Dayton for the state semifinals.
Take a look now at the final stats of the evening. Actually, give me a quick second. I'm going to correct these.
Ottawa-Glandorf now with their 9th regional title. They bowed out of last year's tournament in the state semis, getting beaten by Cleveland Heights Lutheran East 58-52. So that was even an exciting finish last year.
Getting a big chunk right there, Coach McLaughlin with his kid.
Trying to share this with his family, and talked to him on the phone yesterday, and he loves this program. He loves the community. He loves this school. And he is putting his own stamp on this program as they now will go back to Dayton. I almost said Columbus.
All right. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the final stats of the evening. Presented by Burkhart Farm Center.
Turnovers, as we said, actually in favor of Colonel Crawford. They were perfect from the line. They out-rebounded Ottawa-Glandorf, but it was the offense, the 17 field goals. Crawford got back into it from behind the three-point line. They hit 8 to 5 for Ottawa-Glandorf. But it's Ottawa-Glandorf who advances to Dayton as they defeat Colonel Crawford here in the regional final at Bowling Green.
Awesome party at midcourt too. Student section combining with some of the Glandorf players. We're gonna line up now and get a photo for the memory books. Another regional appearance for Glandorf, and they cap it off as the champions yet again. Looking for their 4th state championship when they do head down to 8 Dayton.
McLaughlin looking for his 2nd as their head coach. And this is a nice looking team. I have not seen either Afrocentric or Garraway, but there are many people who thought that this team, this game being between the number 1 and number 2 teams in the state, that this was almost a state title game. So it'll be interesting to see what they do when they finally get down to Dayton.
Well, we now have David Sheldon. He's at the podium. Let's hear from the Eagles head coach about how things worked out for them here this afternoon.
Next year, but it's just a special group. I've been around this my whole life since I was in diapers. I've lived, it's dictated every family vacation, every summer, every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, between my father, my wife, my 2 brothers that are head coaches, and to get to this Elite 8, and it's special. And I just told our guys, thanks for letting me be around along for the ride. The good Lord has blessed me with this group that will go down in history as the best right now.
You guys kind of just speak on this season. It's kind of hard right now. This is the way you wanted it to end, but it's still, like you said, this is going to go down as the best Crawford team currently.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride. Like Coach said.
Heard it there from Carter Valentine. It's been a fun ride and so many memories for them to look back on. As we already touched on, Brian, this is a team that I don't think is going to feel like it was a disappointing loss here. Ottawa-Glandorf is a team that almost nobody beats when you get in the tournament. Getting to this point 9 times, they've moved on to the state Final Four. And the Eagles, even though they're disappointed they didn't win, I don't think that they're going to feel like this season a big loss because they lost the OG.
No, it's an end of a chapter in both of their lives. Carter Valentine is going to go on to play college basketball at Ashland University. Mason Studer is going to play somewhere. But this brotherhood that they've had for the last several years at Colonel Crawford comes to an end, and that's what makes it hard too.
Sure.
So it's an end of that chapter in their life, and I'm excited to see where their careers are going to go down the road because there's a lot of success. Those guys work way too hard. They're gonna have success in no matter what they do. So congratulations to them and Dave Sheldon and the rest of the Eagles on a fine season.
Yeah, look forward to see Valentine just being right down the road at Ashland University, a great program, a top 25 program in the Division II ranks under Coach Ellenwood, so I imagine he's going to continue to grow and fill out. That's usually what happens with the players that go over there. You see him a couple years later, and you're like,
whoa,
what's up, man?
Yeah.
You found the weight room for real, got a nutritionist. And then for Mason Studer, still a free agent, I do hope that he's a guy who loves basketball so much. He needs a scholarship, and whoever gets him is going to be real happy that they did.
Yes, the thing that, I'm hearing is scaring coaches away is his size, but he will work hard. He has the talent. He has the ability. He can play it I think he can play at the MAC level. You put the right players around him and the right coaching, I think he can play at this level. He can definitely play at a Findlay or an Ashland or somewhere like that. So wherever he decides to go, he's going to be a success.
Here he goes right now, walking by. Great season for those two gentlemen right there. And I still remember the last game of my senior season, too, to try to get to a regional game. Heartbreaking. I mean, it took me a couple days where that was the only thought in my brain. That was the only game that I thought about. So for those gentlemen, I'm sure it's going to be a similar 48 hours here during their weekend of just thinking about what could have been, but then after that, it washes away. You move forward.
You move forward. But all the time and the effort, Dave Sheldon was telling me about the time that Mason Studer in particular would put into his preparation, getting into school at 6 in the morning. Kid never missed a day of school. And on top of that, maintained a 4.0 grade point average. So he knew how to manage his time and put the time in. And so when it comes to an end with a loss like this, it just makes it hard.
All right, I think we're going to take one more commercial break. Colin White is supposed to be at the podium here momentarily. We'll be back with him right after this break.
A collision course lies ahead. 2 teams, 2 seasons hang in the balance. Communities come together. And for those 32 minutes, nothing else matters. The road to Dayton continues tonight. So if you're the last in town to leave, make sure you shut off the lights.
It's nice having that one-on-one connection with each one of your instructors because the class sizes are so small. You can have conversations and understand things better. They know you by name and not just by a seat in the classroom. North Central is giving me the opportunity to be able to have the same education as it would be going to that 4-year, but I can do it at home and I can stay home and still be a mom and work full-time.
It's Freedom Fest, Ohio, featuring Justin Moore,
You look like I need a drink right now.
Crowder,
God Almighty, I hope you'll find
Rodney Atkins,
makes me wanna take a back road.
Austin French, and more. Friday and Saturday, July 1st and 2nd, Morrow County Fairgrounds in Mount Gilead, Ohio. For tickets and more info, visit freedomfestohio.com.
Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Flamin' hot, cheddar and sour cream. Genius.
Introducing Ruffles Flamin' Hot Cheddar and Sour Cream. Own your ridges.
The exclamation point on the night for Maurice Ware.
2,000 people outside waiting for us. You think about the summer, leading into it and everything, the team camps, the shootouts. I mean, we go to a shootout in the summer and every single one of our parents is staying overnight in the hotels. I mean, it's a true family atmosphere, and we get to share it with a lot of great people. And we always talk about, maximizing the opportunities and seizing the moment. And these guys get an opportunity to do that on the big stage next week.
I think toward the end of the game, my coach reminded everybody in Ottawa and Putnam County to book the rooms. It seems the way that it is whenever one of our teams make it down there, no matter if it's OG or Strode or whoever, just the Putnam County community.
It's a basketball-rich county. People pull for one another. I'm sure there's quite a few people just here to watch a great game, and you pull for one another, and we're just very blessed to be part of it. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Hey, those are the t-shirts. They finally made them up.
They made them up, and all of a sudden I get a text last night, go check your mailbox. It was like 9:30. I sent my son out there. I was like, go check the mailbox.
How's yours?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey,
Something I got on there. So you got 2 copies.
Well, you heard it from the team there, an impressive win tonight for OG, but that's the expectation. Survive, advance, go to state Final Fours.
Yeah, it's got to be lather, rinse, repeat. It's a very special program, and you can see why they win. You can see the attitude and the expectation, and you can see the results. I mean, it plays out on the floor, and they're going to make another trip to the state semifinals.
All right, that's going to wrap up our coverage here for Game 1 of 2 regional championship games that we are going to have for you guys here on the OH Report from Bowling Green. And actually, we're going to welcome in Colin White first for a quick interview before we get out of here. Back now with our MVP presented by Burkhart Farm Center, Colin White. Exceptional game for you tonight, man. Talk to me about just your mindset as an offensive player, because it seems like even though you're a sophomore, you see the floor so well. You know when to be patient. You know when to try to take over.
Yeah, I feel like I have a mismatch every night, and it's just confidence for me. And whenever I'm confident, I play well. And tonight, I thought in the first half I was confident. In the third quarter, they really collapsed on me. But in the fourth, I thought I had to take over a little bit and drive our team to victory.
This game, it looked like you were going to rock the baby to bed early, and then Colonel Crawford came back, had a nice counterpunch for you. Tell me about the team and how you guys were able to keep your composure and not let them overcome something that they were able to do just a week ago in a district championship.
Yeah, our coaches talked about that at halftime. Last week they were down by more going into the fourth quarter, so we knew they were going to throw some punches back, and they did. They went on a little run. They made a couple threes, got some turnovers. So we tried to withstand that. As Coach says, we always have to withstand the run that they make because it's a game of runs, and we end up making our own at the end and just finishing it off.
Playing for a team like Glandorf, where the expectation basically is to be in a regional championship every single year, this team, this unit, how have you guys embraced that and gotten yourselves back to the point where you're going to the state Final Four again?
I feel like we do our off-season work. We go to a ton of summer shootouts. We're always in the gym. We're in the gym every day, and it's a true family. Everybody loves each other in the locker room. I mean, we spend every day together, so it's a family here at OG.
Well, you got to the state semifinals last year, weren't able to get to the state championship. Do you feel like this team has grown in any areas that makes you feel like you can get over that next step?
I feel like we have experience. We have 5 seniors that all played last year, so I feel like we have experience going into the state semis, and we can really wreak some havoc.
All right, if you want to give a shout-out to anybody who might be watching out in Ottawa, now's your time, man.
Shout out to the OG community, and shout out to my parents.
Yeah, I think actually pretty much everybody's here that's from Ottawa today.
Yeah.
All right, hey, thanks, Colin White, our MVP tonight. Game high over 20 points, lots of rebounds, lots of assists too. Thanks for the time, man. Appreciate it. All right, guys, now that is officially going to wrap up our coverage here from BG Game 1 Regional Championship in Division III. We've got the D2 state title game still on the way That's coming up in a few minutes. But for now, from BG, we are going to say goodbye. Get you ready for the next Elite 8 game. Thanks for watching, guys.